Is it going to do it, or is it going to reconnect? What's it say up there? Like
Might be
staring
okay.
at it like this,
Might be okay.
like a big wide-eyed
Let me
Google
see.
face, Google eyes.
I don't know why.
I guess we're live.
Sometimes it says it has to do it, and sometimes
And I guess
it's
we're
okay.
live. It looks,
Yep, we are. There we are. Look.
oh, okay. And there I am staring up at the thing.
There you are.
Yep, staring, all Google eyes. It's hard to tell and when you're here, and like, I don't know how people
You okay
read.
with all that table, or you want it up a little bit?
That's good, I think, don't you?
Okay.
Because
Okie
that way
doke.
they can see it. They can see what I have to show. Did you send out the message?
Nope.
At least John's consistent.
Yeah.
Consistently forgets, and I even reminded him, John, did you send out the message? Say, hey, we're live. This is your reminder, we're live.
Okay.
Boing, there we go, we got
there
it.
we go. Huh.
So now,
Get back on to with you.
how do people read comments and do what they're doing?
Hi,
They are
Krista. Good
amazing.
to see you. Thanks for sprinkling. She says, hey, my favorite couple.
Hey, how are you? I don't know how people read comments and do their craft and all the stuff that they do and keep track of their time. I can't even do one thing.
Well, 7 o'clock.
Oh, the warm-up's over?
Because it got taken up by our lack of what is going on and forgetting to send
Coordination.
out a telegram. Hey, Sandy, good to see you. She says,
Hi.
love consistency.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I said that you're consistent.
Oh, I'm
You
consistently forgetting.
Yeah, consistently
So
forget.
it's not what you're talking about, Sandy.
Yes, she is consistent.
Hey, Debbie Condit from Colorado. Hello.
Hey,
Right, didn't you want to tell her something, Debbie Condit?
yeah, didn't she say she's new and I wanted to tell her something and I forgot when.
We want to tell you something, Debbie, but we can't remember.
But we're consistent, we forgot that too. We were gonna say something to you, welcome, or I don't know what we were gonna say, but it was supposed to be really nice and welcoming and we were gonna say it, but we forgot what it is.
Hey, Dawn, good to see you. Yeah, so anyway, good to see you, Debbie, and good to see you, Ada. And, well, Merits. Well, hey, welcome to the Stand Tall Crafting Group. Here we are again, and as I say, Krista, thanks for inviting us. It's always a privilege and honor to be here. We always enjoy it. We're happy for everybody's support, and if you haven't checked out the other crafters today, go back and check them out on their replays. Everybody did great, and it's a free page, so please join and check everyone out. Hey, Judy, good to see you. Judy Davis.
Yeah, Judy,
And,
I'll send you a picture. I have a cute picture of your kid sitting on the church front steps.
And on after us is J. Will Creations with Janice. So still some more people coming on. So
Yeah,
okay,
hey
Mary.
everybody. So,
Don't forget your introduction.
oh yeah, this is Marilyn. At least I'm consistent too. This is Marilyn and John with Done By Me, coming to you live from Magnolia Hall on the Delaware. And we are in the tavern today. You never know where we're going to be. We hop around. We're outside. We're in the kitchen. We're in the river room. We're in the sewing room. We're in the bathroom.
Huh.
Yeah, actually we were in the bathroom if you didn't see it. And everybody, that was one of the popular lives.
I guess. Hey,
Where
Donna,
we
good
gave
to
a
see
tour of our collections.
you. She says, going Easter.
Yeah. If you
Hey,
don't
Bernice,
realize
good to
it,
see you.
we hoard, collect everything that there is to collect. If you can collect it, we collect it, right? But I think my dad, the favorite collection I had of my dad's was, I told you he had the brass hose nozzles. he had some pretty cool ones. And I saw a marketplace, somebody had 3 of them for sale, and I'm like, oh, that would have been such a good gift for my dad.
Thanks for sprinkling, Bernice.
So I thought we'd go down memory lane and show a lot of the vintage things I have, and maybe it'll jog your memory of your childhood, or things that were around, or things people told you about. You know, there's a funny story about that was in Reader's Digest years ago, and it always sticks in my mind. So, a mother...
Hi, Cal Ruth. Good to see you.
Boy, you can smell this sweet Annie.
She says she sprinkled, sprinkled, and sprunkled.
Sprinkled? Thank you. This little bit of sweet Annie smells so delightful. But the story in the Reader's Digest, and it's one of my favorites, and I always told it when I was teaching, told the kids...
Hi, Sandy. Good to see you.
A woman is preparing a holiday dinner, so we'll say a Thanksgiving, an Easter dinner. I don't remember what exactly the details were, but she was preparing dinner, and she had her grown daughter with her, and her daughter was helping her, and the mother takes the ham and she cuts one end off the ham.
Hi, Jennifer.
And,
good to see you.
puts it in the pan. And the daughter says, Mom, I noticed, you know, every time you prepare a ham, you cut the end off of it. And why do you do that? You know, what's the reason? And the mother said, I don't exactly know. Let me ask your grandmother, because she's the one that taught me to do that.
Hi, Arlene. Good to see you.
So when her grandmother arrives, when her mother, the mother's mother, arrives, she said, Mom, why do we always cut the end off the ham? And the grandmother said, because I had a small roasting pan and I had to cut it to fit the ham into the pan. So tradition is really a big deal.
Hi, Angie. Good to see you.
And when I was teaching, some of the kids were rebellious at that time against parents' beliefs.
Thanks for
But I
sprinkling.
told them, even if you don't have the same beliefs, carry on the same traditions.
Hi,
And
Darlene. Good to see you.
tradition is such an important thing. So one of my traditions growing up was, we lived in New Jersey, but actually it's the suburbs of Philadelphia. And when people came years ago, 1800s, 1900s, yeah, that was years ago, 1900s, when people came from other countries to this country, they settled in communities. So a lot of the communities in Philadelphia are ethnic communities. So when you drive around, you know that, you know, now things have mingled a little bit, but there's still strong ethnic communities. And one of them is the Italian community in Philadelphia. And you go down there and there's, now it's a variety, a lot of Asians are in there also, but it was always been called the Italian market. So in the 50s and 60s, always the day before Easter, my father would pack us all up into our station wagon, and we'd go to the Italian market, and we would walk along, and you would see all kinds of things. So there's a bakery and quite a few butcher shops, and they're not meat markets, they're butcher shops. Animals are hanging in the window. They've got the big old butcher blocks that are dented like this in it from
Hi,
them.
Denise. Good to see you.
Preparing the meats for you. There's shops that are just sausages. Every kind of sausage you could ever imagine, they grind up. And if you didn't know, the casing of what's it called? The real casing? The authentic casing? I don't know how you would refer it. But it's actually intestines that they grind the meat up and they put it in these intestines that have been prepared. So it's really interesting to see. They'll have deer meat, they'll have veal, they'll have pork, they'll have all kinds of sausages in there. Then there's a shop that's just teas and spices, rather. I think they might have a few teas, but mostly spices. And you go in there and it's just so aromatic. It's just a little tiny shop. People are hustling and bustling right around the any holidays. You can hardly get into a shop. You might even stand in line. Like the bakery, you would be in line for hours to get into. some of the bakeries down there. But all the spices are scooped out and weighed and all that. It's not like you go in and you get that little can of old spices. These are all fresher, and they just scoop them out and weigh them, and very aromatic. And you go in there, you better know what you're doing, because what you want. It's really overwhelming. And then there's a cheese shop, which is really neat, and tons of cheeses, and it's all behind the counter. You tell them what you want, and they cut the cheese off. And well, that was kind of funny. When I was teaching, you wouldn't say that, cut the cheese. But anyway, and there's a sign in there, and it says, "You steal, you die." And you look around, and nobody's laughing, you know. So it's just very interesting, and people will be speaking Italian. There's a store that has fresh pasta. There's a cooking store, just cooking supplies and things for baking in there, and all the things like that thing where I roll the pasta, they have that in there. They have the guitar, which is another way of cutting the pasta. It's just really an experience. So my dad would take us in there for the experience. I get my Easter dress the day before Easter in the market. Somebody would have these racks of organdy dresses, every pastel. And I told you before, there would be a rack of like $5 dresses and a rack of $10 dresses. I got the $5 dress, but I coveted every year the $10 one. But we would go in there. There's the cheesesteak shop.
Carol Ruth says that she loves cheese and doing the cheese boards.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Hi, Freda, good to see you.
And John made cheese before.
Denise says, yep, cut the cheese.
Yeah, John made cheese before, and I'll have to get him to do it again, and we'll make it in a little bit different way, but that's kind of fun. They always had live little ducks and live little chicks, which you could buy and give them, and then they had the stuffed little ducks and chicks. I was never allowed to get them. I think my mom didn't want to spend the money, but she would always say that she thought that that was cruelty to animals, so we didn't get them. But I always looked at them and dreamed of having them, and I'd take my finger and brush on them as we went by to look. So it was really exciting. I got this, about 6 months ago or something at the flea market, this little duck. And it just really reminds me of my childhood. And this is another old rabbit. It's not a stiff or anything special, but it's just a really old one that I got along the way more recently. And I put a little seam binding bow on them just to give them some character. And then, as I showed you before, these are all eggs that I've purchased from farmers. And I love how they have all the natural color, the different colors. And I poke the hole out in different places, like if I'm making scrambled eggs or a cake or something. And then that way I can put them in here. I just poke the hole and kind of stir around with some little instrument, like a nut pick, and then it'll slip right out. So I have that. And then this is a narcissus, but it's an artificial one. John made the basket. I made the wreath,
Hey, Michelle,
the
good
vine
to see
wreath,
you.
and that was the handle. So I just wanted to go over because I wanted to remind you about the cute little duck and all the things. And now you can't buy them. I think Tractor Supply you can get some of the little live animals, but you have to buy them in quantity. And this was the other basket I made. And these are the quail eggs that I did the same thing, poked it, took the little eggs out. Quail eggs are really fun to hard cook, and then crack them, and you have the little hard cooked egg and cut it in half and put it in a salad. And that little chick is a new little chick. I got them at the flea market more recently, but I'll show you. I got some other things from the lady, and I just really liked that. It was so cute, and that was in that basket that we made.
Friend says her mother made most of our clothes and Easter dresses, little white socks, patent shoes, and Easter bonnets.
And it was devastating, wasn't it, if Easter was early and you had snow? And
Hi,
this
Jeannie. Good to
this
see
little
you.
bunny,
Jeannie Francis.
hi Jeannie. This little bunny is cotton spun, and he's old. I would guess he's probably from the 50s. And look how cute he is with his little ears, and it looks like chenille, like pipe cleaners. And then the little flowers, I think they must be reproducing them, or they found an old stash. But these are vintage little flowers, and if you remember, I made that basket. But I love the little cotton spun bunny.
Hi, Laura. Good to see you. She says, cute basket and happy Easter.
Oh, thank you. You also. And then this little basket I made also on a live. But I used, these were always my favorite. And I don't know whatever happened to mine, because I know I had a few of them when I was little. But he's stuck on the grass. But they're just so cute. Do you guys remember them? They're all fluffy like that. They just don't make that style anymore. I'm thinking in the next couple years, maybe they'll knock them off and make them, but they're just so adorable. And I'll show you. So we'll start out with more recent things, because God knows I need to keep buying more stuff. But a friend of mine sells online, and I bought this darling little children's apron, and it looks so 50s looking and so cute. And so I'll probably put it on one of the dolls up in the doll room, but I just thought it was so cute. And a lot of the aprons back in the day, you actually pinned them on your clothes. So you'll see some that don't have buttons. This one has hooks at the top, and it has no strings. Maybe this one had, if you look, it probably had ribbon strings. So maybe I'll replace and put seam binding like for the ribbon strings. But there are some that actually, look how cute the little bunnies are. There are some that are actually pinned on your clothes. But those, I think I'll repair where his clothes are here and put seam binding ties on him. But these came from this year. And I told you, I'm always looking. So then...
Hi, Sandy's Burlap and Blend Creation. She says, so cute.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Santa. Good to see you.
Your Uncle Sam was very cute. Everybody's crafts today were really neat. So this I got
Happy
more recently.
Santa says, cute bunny.
More recently, let's see if we can get one that's not attached in here.
And he says, those are well-fed bunnies.
Yeah, aren't they really cute? I don't know whether I can get one out that's not attached. They're all attached in here. I'll have to cut the string. I hate to do that. But these are like little chenille roosters. No, I don't know how old they are, whether they're newer. If you go into Chinatown, another section in Philadelphia, where it's all Chinese restaurants and Chinese stores, they have a store that's just Hello Kitty, all really cute Hello Kitty things. I loved taking my daughter there and then my granddaughter. And both the Italian market and Chinatown, I took students every year on a tour there. And they just really learned so much and opened their eyes to what's so near, where a lot of people typically would not go there. They're uncomfortable, they're not familiar with it. But I grew up going, so I knew my way around. But these are little chenille pencil sharpeners, and they're just so cute. And I just can't decide whether they're old or new. They're still in the box, and like I said, they're all attached with a rubber band in there, and I don't know, I just haven't pulled them out yet. I don't know what I was going to do with them.
Then he says those are adorable chickens in a box.
And it's a shame if, you know, if I can make up packages of goodies, wouldn't it be fun to get one of these? I don't know whether you'd use it or just admire it or put it in an Easter basket, and they're so colorful. I don't, like I said, they look like they're new old merchandise, or do you say old new merchandise? like old merchandise that hasn't been sold, that's been around for a while. The boxes look really cool, but in Chinatown, sometimes the things look like that. And then these I got a while ago. All year when I see holiday things, I get it and I put it away. When it's not the season, you usually get these very inexpensive. And I thought these were really cute. I don't know whether
they are so cute.
I don't know whether these are from the 50s or 60s. They have very artificial, I guess I should say, trying to think of the word for it, flowers. I mean, they are plastic flowers. They're not trying to represent a flower. These are hardcore plastic flowers. And the little duck is flocked, pink flocked. He's just really cute. He feels like flocking. And look at the little chick. She's got, it looks like a wedding veil and her pearl necklace and all. And this year I've had some health issues that have slowed me up quite a bit. We haven't really pulled out much decorations, but these would look really darling on an Easter tree, and that was my intentions when I got them. But we just didn't make it happen this
Michelle
year.
said it. She would just saved it because you sent it.
Oh.
The chicks.
Oh, yeah.
Said, how would you use it?
And look how cute this is.
Thanks, Andy, for sprinkling.
I would suspect this is new merchandise. Came from the flea market, but just really cute.
Hi, Debbie. Good to see
A
you.
cute little, it reminded me of the little chicks when I was little. They were just so small, and I don't know whether you can get a good look. Yeah, there. You
She
can
says,
catch the little chick. Look
so
how cute.
Hi, Janice. Good to see you. She said they're so cute.
As when I go to the flea market or marketplace, there's always so many fun things. And you just have to shop around. A lot of times I don't buy much because
She
there's...
says, I love that stuff our age.
Yeah, look at these now. These I got from the marketplace. And they are candy containers, and some of them still have a bit of the candy in the bottom. It doesn't look very delicious, does it? I better not let it near my dishwasher. But look how cute. Look how cute they are. And they're brand new. And look at the little guy. They're made from chenille, and they have the little cotton spun faces. And they even has a cute little hat on it and all. So this is, we bought this more recently, didn't we? A few weeks ago from the marketplace. And since we can't go into...
It's a peekaboo baby chick.
Yeah, it's really cute, isn't it? And look at this rabbit.
Debbie says,
This
these
is a
things are just
peekaboo
my
baby
style, whether
chicken.
they are old or reproduced.
Yeah, these are
Krista
really
says,
old.
That chicken is stinking cute. Getting
Look at
hearts.
this. Thanks for the hearts, guys. I was so excited. I said I wanted to share this, and I wanted to be closer to Easter. But look how cute this is, the little bunny. And they don't have they're the same period as the cotton spun, but they're little paper things. But again, they're new merchandise, old new merchandise, or new old merchandise. I don't remember which way the word goes.
Janice loves
But-
that rabbit.
But these are very old. And, oh, look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. So little, his ears just bent down there, but there you can see. Cotton spun, he has a little cane in his hand, and the saran wrap and all. I remember I used to go into this candy store that was maybe about a mile from my school, and I would take a different route home and go in, and they had all handmade candy and all. And I did take my students on a tour there also at some point, let them see the candy store. They make all the candy upstairs. But it smelled so good. I would just step in there. I was very shy when I was young. I just step in the door, and it just was so overwhelming, the chocolate aroma. And I would take a sniff, and then somebody come to the counter, and they say, "Can I help you?" And I would turn and run out. I'm sure that was They said, that darn kid.
Hey, Marianne, good to see
Look
you.
how cute, another cotton spun one.
She
and
said lots of memories coming from you today.
Yeah, I just thought the holidays, they're all such tradition, and we have such memories of good, bad, and indifferent. But I just wanted wonderful memories of all the things, whether you had them or you didn't have them. But these all had candy in them, and like I said, some of them, the candy is still in that container. See, John's going to break it open and try to eat it. He'll carefully try to slit this bottom open so he could try the candy.
I'm sure it's
But-
not good.
No, this is like from the 50s. Look at this cute little chick here. Look how cute. It's got an Easter bonnet on it, and it's another cotton spun head. They're just so adorable. And this lady I bought a few things from, and she gave me a little better price. We only had to drive 6 hours now. How long? About 45 minutes, half hour. We had to drive a distance to get it, but since we can't go many places and we can't go inside, it was a whole big outing for us. So there's another little bunny, and look how cute they are. And
He
you,
says they're so cute.
you could just picture a whole display for Easter.
It works.
Oh, thanks, guys. Since we always had a lot of company for the holidays and everything, and I always had luncheons, and since we can't have anybody in the house because of my health, it's very disappointing, and it loses its luster for decorating as much. But look at this little guy. It's got a flower and all.
Hi, Nora. Good to see you.
Another cotton spun. So some of them are
Happy
cotton
Thursday
spun,
to you.
and a few of them have the paper heads. And you wonder whether the person I bought them from, whether they had them in their family or whether they found them in the trash. Like, you know, they clean out a house and they just throw boxes of stuff out. Whether they got it that way, or
Hi, Mona. Good to
you
see
wonder
you.
where they got them.
She says so sweet.
And look at this one, another cotton spun one with the candy. So they're all saran wrapped up and just really cute. And you wonder, how did somebody end up with 2, 4, 6, 8 of those little things and never haven't opened them or eaten that candy? And keep going through my stuff here. So the things that are in the bag are the more recent acquisitions. So they've been since, oh my goodness, look at this. You know, you buy this stuff and then you forget what you have. Look how adorable that little guy is. All these are from like the 50s. Look how cute, and it's on the old pipe cleaner. And look at the little chick. I hope you can get a good, can you see it clear enough, John?
I have to wait.
Yeah. I hope you can see how cute it is. But it's a little half of an egg, and it's made out of like
I think so.
cardboard, and then it has like kind of like glittery stuff on it. But the little chick is so adorable, and it has the little.
Marianne says, I have a box of the new old stock of chenille chicks from the 50s. Her parents had a small variety store.
Oh wow! Do you put them out, or sometimes just knowing you have them is fun, and sometimes just pulling them out. Look at this little tiny one. How adorable. And you know they were only like 10 cents, 15 cents back. Oh, he stands so cute and all. But here's another one of these sweet little things. And look how they spiraled that pipe cleaner. And just a cute little chick. When I was little, if they were in the 5 and 10, I would have been in there frequently looking at the things. And I'm sure everybody wondered, why would this girl keep coming in and looking? And I was so shy, I never would talk to anybody. And look at this little guy. He's cotton spun, and he's got a little chenille carrot, and he's chenille. And then he has one of the old, really old-fashioned pipe cleaners, so he could be wired on like the handle of the Easter basket or whatever. And he's got the little cotton spun head. And when my son was young, we made out of pipe cleaners, tried to copy some of these things like this, like 47 years ago. We wrapped the pipe cleaners on a pencil, and you got that little coil kind of thing for the body, if you can see. It's like a little coil. And we made some little poodles and stuff because they were things I had seen in my childhood I always wanted and didn't have. So when he was young, we made all these little things. But this is one of the old ones from the 50s, and little pipe cleaner ears. And the carrot has feathers for the greens.
He says these would look great on an Easter tree.
Wouldn't they? Yeah, and I bought a smaller tree a couple years ago, a little pink one, and just didn't set it up this year. But these are all those little chubby, look how cute, the little chubby chicks. But they were all from our era. And you remember some of them had like little French berets on them. This guy just has on like a little circle felt hat. But some of them, they'd have a little beret on them. And some of them would have a little bow tie. But these were the alternative to getting the real stuffed chicks. And usually you'd get one of these in your basket. Sometimes they're actually on your Easter egg with chocolate and kind of stuck on your egg. But they're just so adorable. What would you do if you had them? Put them on the tree or make a little display. You could put them under a glass dome.
Debbie says you have some special treasures.
Yeah, and this one's
Denise
really
loves
cute.
the chicks.
This one's really cute because it's a little aqua one, so it's a little bit different. Most of them are yellow, but this one's aqua.
Hey, it's already 7:30.
Wow.
Hey, it's 7:30.
I'm not going to get to my
time
box.
for
I
our
don't
commercial. You're on the Stand Tall Crafting group, friends, and page. And thanks for joining us and supporting the page. And don't forget to check out the other crafters. Check out the replay if you didn't catch them live. And we thank you for that support, supporting Stand Tall. And hey, thanks for supporting Done By Me. If you're not following us, give us a follow. And on our page, we have links to Telegram and our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I gotta crank up my speed. I have an enormous big tub full of all the left-in rabbits and chicks and ducks and all that.
Judy says Logan would hold them.
This is really adorable. It's a little crepe paper basket.
Denise says diorama.
Yeah, oh, it would look cute in the diorama. I have a picture of one of my grandkids and I made a big diorama like 15 years ago. But this has the little chick. Oh, the chick is adorable. I've never seen one like this. Look at this little chick. It's like sitting like it came right out of the egg. It's just really adorable. I don't know whether you can see it. But it's sitting like it just came out of the egg. And then look at this crepe paper Easter basket. And if you remember, the party favors look like this. It's like a little cardboard box, and then it has the crepe paper on it, a couple tiers of it. I hope you can get a good look. You can see it pretty clear on there.
Yeah, I think so, man.
But it was really
Need to
cute.
hold it a little longer, maybe.
But I can't remember. I bought this and I can't remember which I bought where. I bought from a couple different people. But what I'm showing you now has all been bought in the last, oh my goodness, look at this. The last 6 months or something like that. Maybe some of it, the last year. Look at this little guy, how cute he is. And he's got a little hat on, but it's pipe cleaner that's rolled up. Let me see if I can get it better. It was slipping out of my fingers. It's got a little pipe cleaner hat, and they've got those cute little legs and all. All these are like from the 50s. They're so adorable. Oh, hopping around right off my lap. And they came in this little basket. Something came in this little basket. Look how cute, a little basket. And this one's got a little brown hat on, but the brown hat has like a little tassel on it, and it has real feathers, and a really, if you can see, the little cute hat and the little tassel on top of the hat and all. I haven't seen any of these at the flea market. Have you, John?
No.
No. They're, these all came from Marketplace. I haven't really seen them. We can't go to antique shows or anything because they're inside, so I really haven't seen them. And even before that, I've never really seen them, or they've been more expensive than what I wanted to pay. But look how cute. They have the real little feathers. Oh, and look at this one. It's a little duck. I've never seen that. This one, look, it has a little beak. It's a really cute little duck. And again, the little twirled pipe cleaner hat and the little legs on the side. And the same, another one. He's missing his little beak, but I could put something there if I wanted a piece of toothpick. Would you fix them, or you would leave them as is? So I could put a little end of a toothpick and paint it, and I could make it look just like the little beak. So that was those. I think I'll just put them in this little basket. They're so cute. But I love this little guy in the little crepe paper.
Nora says adorable.
But I have everything I wanted, you know. I don't really want for stuff. People say, well, if you had a lot of money, what would you do? There's really nothing I want for, but this certainly does put a smile on my face. So this looks like the little roosters that were on the pencil sharpener. Look at that. And this is an old one, and I'm thinking maybe those pencil sharpeners are old. But look how cute it is. The same thing, chenille and oh my goodness. If you want to see Darling, this little guy, I guess his feathers come loose. But this, look at this little chick. Look how, I mean, he's so tiny. Look how tiny he is. And he's got funny little legs, like little bow legs. And his legs are that real old 50s plastic that's kind of clear. That's what his legs are. But he's really cute. He's really tiny.
Nora says they're so adorable.
So if you guys saw them, would you buy them? Or you would just enjoy looking at them? And here's another cute rooster. And he's got, looks like, I think that's a quail feather maybe. But look how cute. The details on them for how little they are. And you think most of these things, I think, were probably handmade. And then these are some cotton spun ornaments. And this one still has the sticker that says, the little black sticker. If you see that little black sticker on things, it says Japan, you'll see it on China, you'll see it on all kinds of old stuff, then you know that's like from the 50s, or older. And look, they're little
Hi Mary, good to see you.
cotton spun cake decorator things. And here's another little cute bunny, cotton spun with the little paper ears. They're so precious. And then this
Debbie
little
said
guy.
she'd buy them if the price was right.
This looks like a little pig or something. Look how cute. So they're the old cake decorations.
Mona says you should make a shade box.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Hey Studio J, good to see you.
And so, then here's how I bought some of those fluffy chicks at the flea market. A lady had all kinds of stuff, but new merchandise that I'm not sure where she got it, but, and then, I'm gonna say at least 50 years ago, No, this says Rag Shop. So I don't know how long. Do you remember the Rag Shop? That was
No, I don't.
50 years ago, maybe 40 or something. Look at the little bunnies. I have a bunch of these when I had a craft business like 50 years till more recently. I always made crafts and sold them, and somewhere along the line I got all these little bunnies really inexpensive. And I still have a big bag of them that I never used. They're still in the package. So I pulled one of them out to show you. And then also somewhere along the line, I had, these are more current, and I have a big box of them, of little chicks, and they're like made out of paper mache. But they're new merchandise to represent, but I've probably had them for a long time, at least 20 years, but I'm sure much longer than that. But I just pulled one so you could see what they look like. And then, you know, everybody likes the ephemera, the old paper stuff. And look at this. This is a little Easter book. Look how precious that is. The Easter story. And it's like a little... John says I never hold this stuff long enough, but I have to catch where I can get it the right angle there. And I know it's backwards, but it's really old and really cool. And look at this. It's got that old, it's really soft, like edging on it. And it's an old, like, calling card. And that's the other side. Look how cute. Like an old Victorian card. They make reproductions of them, but this definitely is a really old one. Oh my goodness. Look at this little card. And then it has in it, gotta get the right angle. There. Look at the little duck that's inside there. That was just the person's add-on. It's just adorable. And here's another very old Easter card. It's just really cute. But the old cards, they do make some reproductions of the old cards, but look how cute they are. They're just so precious. And if you remember, I showed you I had the Valentine cards, and this one I think moves. This one actually moves back and forth. They're in a boat, and look how cute that is. And it's got the little old mechanics on the back. So hard to catch the right angle as the mechanics back there, if you can see it. And look at this one, the duck, and his head moves. It's just so much fun, you know, and you think, oh boy, would you mail them? If you had them, would you mail them to somebody that you thought loved old things? Oh, and this one's a coloring book on the inside. So look, it actually has a ribbon and all on it. I'm trying to catch the right way. Sorry, guys. I think when it's angled, I get it better. But it's got a coloring book on the inside. It's just really cute. Like, it would be good to use the colored pencils. It's a little story in here. Like, some of the pages have color, but at the end, you can color it yourself. That's just really cute.
Brenda says, such simple things, yet in so much detail.
Yeah, aren't they neat?
Sandy says, right down memory lane.
And who remembers this?
Mona says, do you remember the cards with the coins in them? I don't.
Coins. I know where you could save coins, but...
No, I don't, Mona.
Weird noise. And
That's
this
a
is...
clock.
Oh, the clocks from down here, it sounds weird. These, if you remember, like in church, a lot of times they would have them, and they put a fan out because there wasn't air conditioning. And then on the back they would have an advertisement. But they fold it out like that, and then they fold back up. And this came from Snuffy Steakhouse.
Debbie says, I love finding things like that at the flea market.
But look how cute the picture is with the chicks and the ducks and all. Just really precious.
Hi, Crafting with Donna. Good to see you.
That was all in this envelope. Yeah, I have so much to show in so little time. And then this I bought, and I don't know whether it was the person I got it from. I think it was a yard sale or something. They said they got it in their Easter basket. And does anybody recognize? Oh, it says on the back. Something. Kids Club. Oh, Burger King Kids Club. But it was the drink. I don't know how I can catch that. You can see there's the drink in the top. And look how cute. And they said they got this in their Easter basket when they were little. So when I got it, I have a tub that I always put the newer stuff in. And I would suspect this is a reproduction, but this came from a flea market somewhere along the line, and it may have been an old one, and somebody sadly painted it.
Hi, Janice. Good to see you.
I'm not sure.
Janice
but,
Ireland.
Hi, Janice. But this is the paper mache Easter bunny. I kind of suspect it's an old one. Sometimes it's really hard to tell the reproductions from the
It's 7:45.
from the new ones. It almost looks like an old one that somebody repainted, but I couldn't say for sure.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, 7:45. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even going to get through the one tub.
Debbie says she leaves her cuckoo clock and grandfather clock turned off. The tick, tick, tick gets annoying. Oh, I love it.
No, I don't know. Normally notice it. Let's get this out. I normally don't notice it, but down here it just sounded different. But look at this little guy, and I don't know. I got him a few years ago, and he went into the bucket of the newer things. But it's a little chick, so I can't feel like I can catch it right and not get the glare in. But it's a cute little chick. And it says, I know it's old because it says Japan on the bottom. So the newer things would be made in China, and the older the things, that's probably from the 50s. And John sometimes looks this stuff up, but not all the time. And this is glass, and I forget when these were popular, but this is a glass rabbit. And candy would be inside of this, and then there would be a cardboard on the bottom to keep the candy in. And this probably came from the flea market, I don't know. All these things have been more in this container in the last 5 to 10 years or something I got them. But anyway, it's older, and I'd have to look it up. I think that's like from the 40s or something. I'm not sure. I'd have to check it out. But you would put candy in there, and then it came with candy in it, and it had a cardboard thing on the bottom. And it's really heavy glass, isn't it, John?
Krista says cute. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
And then this is taped shut, and it has Easter grass in it, and again, this is old. It's clear on that side. I feel like I might take it apart and wash it. Some things you're afraid to wash. And then it's blue on the other side, and it has pink grass in it, and I'm sure it had candy in it. It's plastic. It's like that old hard plastic. But I thought he was really cute, and someplace I picked him up. You know, a lot of times people have a dollar table or something, and particularly when it's not near the holidays, you can find some really cute holiday things. What's the matter?
Nothing?
Oh. And
Nora says it's very cute.
here's another little plastic bunny that must have had candy in it. like the little tiny jelly beans, or sometimes they're just little colored round things that would be in some of these. But the detail on them is just adorable. And you think when you were young how you would only get a few things, but how it always seemed so exciting. What kind of eggs did you like, John, when you were young?
The Easter Bunny left us chocolate buttercream eggs.
Chocolate buttercream? I would get a coconut egg, and I never liked coconut, and I would pick the chocolate off and eat it.
Yeah.
I wasn't ever a fan of that. And look, this was a little pool toy, again, probably from the 50s. You could see where the cord was. There's, right here, there's a hole. But look how cute. And I don't know, I mean, you could probably try to glue it back together if you wanted to. I'm always not sure. I usually leave things as found unless it's dirty or something, and that could use a good washing too. But you're afraid to get this part wet. But I put it in this. It was off season when I bought it, and then
And he says, here come the bunnies.
yeah, I have all these. I have all the Lefton bunnies. I have.
Dawn says, such amazing treasures, Marilyn.
Yeah, look at this cute little chick. This isn't like a Lefton one, but it's just really cute. And you find these things, like I said, when you're at the flea market. Sometimes they're out on the table and they say $1 each, but if you get a pile of them, they just give them to you really inexpensive.
Marilyn has a good eye. I never see him.
And then this is like the rabbit, but it's a hen on a nest, and the same thing. The candy would have been inside, and then there would be a cardboard sealed on the bottom to keep the candy in. So, you know, when you were a kid and you got it, all you wanted to do was rip it open and eat the candy and not worry about the glass. But these are very, very thick, heavy glass, like the old heavy tumblers. And then they say this has come back, all this old, and I have all kinds of things from the 70s. I'm trying to remember what era. But all the ceramics, everybody's mom went and made ceramics, like the ladies would get together and go and have a ceramics night or something. And they say that that's like, is it called granny core or cottage core? I don't know which one that falls under. But people are now collecting all those old ceramics. And I picked him up a few years ago before I knew they were going to be popular. But I just thought he was really cute. And like I said, I have like a bunny house and some bunnies and things from when my kids were young. And I'm trying to think what's our time like so I know how.
9 minutes.
9 minutes. Yeah, maybe we'll try to go on again to show the Lefton bunnies at another time, because
Laura says, just think of the child that got hours of happiness playing with that sweet toy.
yeah, you'd think you would be happy back in the day with very little. And this, I know they make them reproductions, and I'm not sure how old this one is, because they make new ones too. And when I got this, I bought this, I don't know how many years ago, and the top was one place, the bottom was broken in someplace else, and I don't even think we paid 25 cents for it. And John painstakingly, do you remember you glued this back together?
No.
It was a few years ago. He doesn't even remember doing it. But he painstakingly glued it back together. And I always just thought these were so beautiful. And like I said, I know they make reproductions, but this was with a lot of old things, so I would suspect it's an old one. But like I said, it was all broken. I don't want to open it up because John had a hard time getting the top to fit the bottom. There's like a lip in there, and he had to glue that all together and all.
Nora said her grandmother had a hen sitting on a dish. It was white.
Oh yeah, like the milk glass kind of thing. They're really cool. And then somewhere I bought these, and I thought I might do something, and they were painted gold. You know, a lot of times you get stuff like a whole box of things and you don't know what's going to be in it. And I always love these. There's a lot in this box, isn't there, John? Oh, here's another one of those precious little
Be
chicks.
surprised.
And really, you could leave them out at any time. Look how cute they are. If you had a country kitchen or something, they look really cute. And I haven't said that for a long time.
A country kitchen?
Yeah. When I grew up, we had a country kitchen. My dad built a big old brick fireplace in it and big harvest table and a butcher block island in it and all. And that was always what we'd say, oh, we have a country kitchen. It was really big, much bigger than a typical kitchen. But these look like, these I didn't make, did I? I know I made some of these. I'm not sure whether I made these or not. I know I made some of them on a live with, what did I use? Caulking for the eggs. So these may be some I made a while ago. I may even have a live of making them. But they're like a ceramic egg, but I use caulking and made it look like icing on them. So I have all kinds of them in here. And they might have been like defective ceramic eggs that I probably got really cheap at the flea market. And then I just mixed stuff for caulking on them for the decorations, because they're kind of unsightly on the bottom. But I'm always the one, if they had like all these eggs and they said just take them or 10 cents or something, then I would figure out what to do. But there's like a dozen of them in here. But I'm pretty sure I did these, and I'm pretty sure I did them on a live. But they have caulking and stuff on them.
5 minutes.
So what shall I show them? What's in the bottom, John?
I don't know. What is in the bottom?
And in
there?
here, oh,
Hi, Linda.
those
Good
are
to
some
see you.
Easter pins.
She said everything's very pretty.
And I got this at the flea market. I would suspect it's a newer piece, but look how cool that is. But like I said, I usually buy my things out of season. They'll have some oddities on the table. I have a whole big collection in here of, oh, that's a wooden egg. I have a whole big collection in here of egg cups. Like I have some that have roosters on them. I probably have 30 egg cups in the bottom of this container. But like I said, I have a whole 2 big tubs, I think, of the left-in chickens and eggs and bunnies and all. Maybe we'll try to come live again before Easter. But another one of those little cups, I suspect maybe I have a collection of them, look. But this year we didn't pull it out, but I have the Peter Rabbit dishes, like what you would buy, the set for a child when they're born, and you get them that precious little set, a little plate, a little cup, a little bowl, and they're for the babies, and most people I don't think ever even use them. Well, I've been collecting them, and who makes them, John? That you had them,
Beatrice Potter, you mean?
Yeah, the Beatrice Potter, the little dishes, they're just so cute.
I don't know who makes
Why,
them.
for the longest time I was collecting them. For like 20 years I collected them. So it looks really pretty. I'll set a table with all them. And I also collected that green that looks like cabbage. And I don't know what they call that. But I have a whole big collection of that. So there's all kinds of things I could use for an Easter table.
So hey, we have less than 3 minutes, and thanks for joining us. And we're in the Stand Tall Crafting Group, and we appreciate it. And thank you, Krista, for inviting us along. It's always an honor and privilege to be here. We always have fun. Thanks everybody for supporting the page. Don't forget to check out the crafters that came on before us, and check them on the replay, and join Stand Tall. It's a free page. And stay tuned for J. Will Creations with Janice. She'll be right on after us, so don't go away. And
Another really
about
cute,
2 minutes, Mara.
I think this is the same company that makes those really cute, and I collect them, but I only have a couple pieces, that are the kittens. and I forget who makes that set. But it's the cute little kitten dishes, all from the same era and from Japan. And I can't think. Do you guys know what that is? The cute kittens. So
Thanks, Denise. You too.
I have a book and some stickers in here, but I have 2 tubs of the Lefton bunnies and chicks and all that kind of thing, and I think some other things are in the tub. But I always have highest aspirations of showing you all my
Thank you,
stuff,
Ada. You too.
or getting so much more accomplished. And I have
Look,
that
it
old
says Hello Kitty.
Chris. No, not Hello Kitty. It's from like the 50s, and I'm not sure whether it's Lefton or who makes it, and it's really cute cat, and a lot of people collect them now, but I can't think what they're called. But I have a whole set of those rooster things and 4 of those cups. But I hope it brought back some fun memories, and I hope you enjoyed seeing this part of my collection. And it's just fun to share it, and I have the joy of pulling it out and looking at it.
Wedgwood.
No. It's kittens. It's really cute. I had some
Thanks,
up
Dawn.
in the little girl's room, but I don't remember. Oh, it'll come to me, and I'll post it. I'll
Thanks,
post
Debbie,
a
you
picture
too.
of it. One of them, my God, it was all broken, and I glued it back together. I was just so thrilled to have the little kitten thing. I like all the little cat stuff. So I hope you enjoyed seeing what I had, and if we get a chance, we'll come back on and we'll show you some of the other bunnies and chicks and all the Lefton things from like the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
It's 8 o'clock, Mara.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys, and stay tuned. The next crafter should have a really fun thing, so
It's
make sure you catch
J-Well Creations with Janice.
Janice, yeah.
All right, take care,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Thanks for joining us.